Hello! Today we're going to talk about the AY vowel team. Remember, a vowel team is where you have two vowels side by side that are working together to make one sound. In this case, the AY vowel team says A, like hey. You'll notice that the AY vowel teams makes that long A sound at the end of words. So as we're doing our activities today, you want to be listening for the long A sound at the end of words. Throughout our activities today, it may be helpful for you to have a piece of paper and a pencil so you can do the activities along with me. There will be several places throughout the video where you may choose to pause and come back later or on a completely different day. If you'd rather do the whole video in one sitting, that's fine too. Let's go ahead and get started. I want us to get our brain thinking about this long A sound, the A like hey. If a word I say has a long A sound like hey, give me a thumbs up. If it does not say A like hey, give me a thumbs down. So in play, I have the sounds p, l, a. That says A like hey, so that's a thumbs up. What about gray? Yes, gray says A like hey, thumbs up. What about gram? That's a thumbs down. Gram says ah, and that is not A like hey. What about strain? Strain says A like hey, but I want you to notice that it will not follow our pattern because it's not at the end of the word. So it is a thumbs up. It says A like hey, but strain is st, a, There's a sound after that A. So it's not going to be the AY vowel team, but it does say A like hey, so it's a thumbs up. What about stray? That one's a thumbs up. Stray says A like hey. What about pray? That's a thumbs up. Pray says A like hey. What about praise? Another thumbs up. Praise says A, but notice it's not at the end of the word. A's. It's not at the end, but it does say A like hey, so it's a thumbs up. What about ban? That's a thumbs down. Ban does not say A like hey. What about bay? Thumbs up. Bay says A like hey, and it's even at the end of the word. So today it's going to be really important that you have your listening ears working because not only are we listening for that long A sound, but we're checking to see is that long A sound at the very end of the word. If it is, then we're going to use the AY vowel team. Let me show you how you can do this when you're writing words. Let's say I have the word play. I stretch the sounds p, l, a. There's a long A sound and it's at the end of the word, so we're going to use the AY vowel team. If I were to write this word, the p is spelled with a P, l is spelled with an L, A is the long A sound at the end of the word, so we're using the AY vowel team. Notice there's two vowels working together to make the one sound. Compare that to the word plate. P, l, a, t. It does have the long A sound, but it's not at the end of the word. There's a T at the end. Because it has the long A sound but not at the end of the word, we are not going to use the AY vowel team. That's why I've colored this word in pink, so you can know that it does not follow our rule. Plate is spelled P, L, L, A, long A sound, T, T. There's a long A sound followed by a consonant. A long vowel followed by a consonant is that vowel consonant E pattern. So I have the long A followed by the T, and that silent E, remember, is making the A have that long sound. So it's not the AY vowel team because it's not the long A sound all by itself at the end. There's a T that follows this one. Pink, remember, because it does not follow our rule. Let's do the next one together. The word is gray. What's the word? Gray. Stretch the sounds with me. G, A. Does it have the long A sound like hey? Yep. Is it at the end of the word? Yep, so we're going to use the AY vowel team. In gray, what was the first sound? G. How do you spell it? G. What was the next sound? R. How do you spell it? R. And the long A sound is spelled with what vowel team? AY. Nice job. Let's do another one. This word is J. and it's someone's name. So think about what we need to do to someone's name. Let's go ahead and stretch the sounds together. Ready? J, A. Only two sounds, so we're only going to use these two boxes. Does it say A, like hey? Yep. Is it at the end of the word? Yep. So we're going to use the AY vowel team. What was the first sound in J? J. Notice we're going to capitalize it because it's someone's name. What was the last sound in J? It's the long A. Since it's the long A at the end of the word, we're going to use the AY vowel team. J-A-Y says J. These next three words I want you to do on your own. This would be a perfect time to use that pencil and paper that I mentioned you might want. I'm going to say a word and I want you to stretch the sounds. Listen very carefully. Does the word say A, like hey, at the end of it? If it does, use the AY vowel team. Ready? The first word is stay. Stretch the sounds and write the sounds that you hear. Stay. Does stay say A, like hey? It does. And does it come at the end of the word? Yep. So we're going to use the AY vowel team. Stay has the sounds S, T, A. Long A at the end of the word. S is spelled with an S. T is spelled with a T. A is spelled with the AY vowel team. Good job. Let's do another one. The word is day. Stretch the sounds. Listen for the long A sound at the end and spell the patterns that you hear. Day. Day. Okay, let's check it. Hopefully this one wasn't too tricky. Day only has two sounds. D, A. It has the long A sound at the end of the word, so we're going to use the AY vowel team. The word is spelled D, A, A-Y. Only three letters and only two sounds. How'd you do? Let's do the last one. The word is clay. Clay. Stretch the sounds and listen. Does it say A, like hey, at the end? Clay. Clay. Let's see how we spell that word. Clay has three sounds. K, L, A. It has A, the long A sound like hey, at the end of it, so we're going to use the AY vowel team. Clay is spelled K, C, L, L, A. AY vowel team. Nice job. So you can see how important it is to listen to those sounds and words in order to be able to write them. It's also important to train your eyes to look for those patterns to help you to read words. Let me show you how this works with the first word. Right away when I look at this word, I look to see are there any letters that are working together to make a single sound. I notice that this word has an AY. AY is a vowel team, two letters working together to make a single sound. The AY vowel team says A. That helps me to know that each of those letters doesn't make its own sound. Then I go ahead and look at the rest of the word. Each one of these letters makes its own sound. It's part of a three-letter blend. You can blend them together, but they still each make their own sound, so they each get their own sound box. Now when I look at this word, I can see that there are four sounds, and I can blend those sounds together to figure out the word. S, t, a. S, t, a. Stray. Nice job. Let's look at this next one. Now, it could look a little tricky, so we can work through this together. Do you notice any letters that are working together to make a single sound? Yeah, you probably noticed that the AY vowel team was there. The AY vowel team says A. Now this ED ending, you might have been looking at that as well. This is a suffix. It's an ending that changes the tense of the word. It lets you know that something happened in the past, and so those are working together as well. Each one of the consonants in the beginning here are also making their own sound. The T has a sound, and the S has a sound. This lets us know that this word has four sounds as well. When I blend them together, I see s, t, a, d, stayed. Now you may be waiting and saying, hey, hold on though. You said that the long A has to be end of the word, and it doesn't look like it's at the end of the word here. That's because when you add an ending like ed or s or ing, it adds something to another word. It adds something to the root word, and it can make it look like the word has changed and now the AY pattern doesn't fit. You have to ignore that ending sometimes in order to figure out the root word first, and then you put the suffix on. So ignore this ed ending for just a second. Now you can see our word is stay, 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 stay. Stay does say A like hey at the end of the word, so it's okay to use that AY vowel team. We just added the ED ending to let us know that we stayed yesterday, or we stayed in the past. I know, that's a lot to think about, and it's okay if that's still a little confusing for right now. I just wanted you to know that if you see an ED, an S, an ING, it's okay to cover that up for just a little bit and look at the rest of the word first to find your patterns, and then read that ending. Okay, no more of those tricky words. Let's look at this next one together. Do you see any letters working together to make a single sound? Yeah, it has the AY vowel team as well. AY vowel team says A like hey. You also probably saw that each of those other consonants is making its own sound. So the P is making a sound, and the R is making a sound. This word has 3 sounds. When you blend them together, they say p, a, pray. These next 3 ones I want you to do on your own. You may need to take a minute and pause the video so you have enough time to write down the word and to find where each of those sounds are. After you've found each sound in the word, blend them together. When you're ready to check your work, you can hit play to check your work with me. Go ahead and pause the video now. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and see what you noticed with these words. Were there any letters that were working together to make a single sound? Yeah, you probably noticed the AY vowel team. AY says A like hey. What else did you notice in these words? Yep, there's single consonants on it. So that L is making a sound and the C is making a sound. This word has 3 sounds. When you blend them together, they say k, o, a, clay. What about the next one? It also has the AY vowel team. AY says A like hey. What else did you see? In this word, there was only a single consonant, just the letter B. It's capitalized because it's someone's name in a story that we're going to read. When we blend the 2 sounds together, we see the word is a, bay. How about this last one? Were there any letters that were working together to make a single sound? Yep, it also has the AY vowel team. AY says A like hey. What else did the word have? It had a consonant L. How many sounds does this word have altogether? 2 sounds. Let's blend them together. L-A, lay. Your brain has been working really hard to hear those sounds in words and to spell them and read them using the patterns that we know. If you want to take a break, now would be a great time. You could either come back later or even on a different day. If you want to keep working with me, we can go ahead to the next activity. Hello, so I'm glad that we get to work together some more. We're going to work on reading and writing some words using the AY vowel team. Remember, AY says A like hey. This time though, we're not going to use the sound boxes to help us. We just have to use our eyes and our ears in order to read and write the words. So when I have a list of words, what I want to do is get my eyes used to looking through that word to see if there's any patterns. I notice that this word has the AY pattern. AY says A like hey. But this word doesn't. This word follows the vowel consonant E. So it's also going to say A, but it is not the AY pattern. This one says AY, A, AY, A, AY, A. This one just says that A followed by a consonant. That's a closed syllable pattern. It's just going to say A. AY, A, AY, A. Now that we've looked through the patterns and we know which words said A and which words don't, I want you to take a minute to practice these words. You may need to pause the video so you have enough time to practice each word. When you're ready to read them with me, go ahead and hit play. You can pause the video now. Welcome back. Did you have enough time to practice? Let's go ahead and read the words together, watching carefully for the words that say AY at the end that say A like hey. Ready? Begin. bay, bail, play, away, stray, plan, today, gray. You notice that bail also said the long A sound, b-ale, but it doesn't have the AY pattern because there's that consonant sound at the end. You also probably noticed that plan sounded a lot different in this list. It does not say A like hay at all. Let's read the words one more time. Ready? Begin. Bay, bail, play, away, stray, plan, today, gray. Nice job reading and using those patterns to help you to read the words. Let's go ahead and write some words as well. This would be another great time to use that pencil and paper that I asked you to get earlier. I'm going to say a word, and I want you to stretch the sounds in the word. Listen very carefully. Does it say A, like hay, at the end of it? If it does, spell it with the AY vowel team. If not, think about what patterns you do here. After you've written the word, I'll write it and you can check your spelling. The first word is lay. Lay. Stretch the sounds and write it. Lay. Does lay say A like hay? Lay. Let's check your spelling. Lay has two sounds, L-A. It does say A like hay at the end, so we're going to use the AY vowel team. Lay is spelled L-A, AY vowel team. Easy peasy. Let's do another one. The word is clay. Stretch the sounds and listen. Does it say A like hay? Clay. Clay. Check what you wrote. Does it say all the sounds in clay? Let's check how you did. Clay has three sounds, k, l, a. It says A like hay at the end, so we're going to use the AY vowel team. Clay is spelled k, c, l, l, a, A-Y. Because it says A like hay at the end, we're going to use that AY vowel team. Good job. Now this next one might be tricky, so listen very carefully. The word is clan. Do you hear A like hay? Clan. Go ahead and write the word sounds that you hear. Clan. So what do you think? Does clan say A like hay? No, it does not. Since it doesn't, we will not use the AY vowel team. Clan is spelled k, c, l, l, a, n. It does not say A like hay, so it does not get that AY vowel team. Did I trick you or did you hear that? Good job. The next word is sleigh. Stretch the sounds and listen. Does it say A like hay? Sleigh. Sleigh. The knight went to slay the dragon. Sleigh. Let's check your spelling. Sleigh has three sounds, s, l, a. It says A like hay at the end, so we're going to use the AY vowel team. Sleigh is spelled s, l, a, AY vowel team. Good job. The last word we're going to do is the word stay. Slay and stay are very similar with one sound changed. Can you figure out how to change slay to stay? Stay. Notice that stay also says A like hay, so it's going to have the AY vowel team at the end. Stay is just like slay, except that l changed to a t. Stay is spelled S-T-A, AY vowel team. Nice job. You really had to listen carefully to words, and use that AY pattern whenever we heard A like hey at the end of the word. Your brain's been working hard. If you want to take a break, now would be another great time to take a break. You could pause and come back later, or you could come back a completely different day. If you'd rather keep working with me, you certainly can. The next thing we're going to do is read a story. I'm glad that you're here to read the story with me. Today we're going to read a story called A Day in the Park. As we're reading, we're watching carefully for that AY vowel team. Remember, the AY vowel team says A like hey. Before I read, I tend to look through my words to see if I have any of my pattern words. I notice here we have AY at the end that says A. Here's AY. Here's AY. Here's AY. Here's AY. Oop, here's one of those tricky ones. AY, and it has that ED ending. AY. 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 Now that I've found all the places where we have the AY vowel team that says A like hey, I can read the story. I'm going to read it out loud for this first round, and I want you to read in your head. Ready? Jay and his dog Bay went to play in the park one day. At the park, Jay stayed on the swing, but Bay made a getaway. Oh, that's a big one. Get away. Bay ran away to catch a jaybird. Oh, he's getting in trouble. Shouldn't be chasing the bird. Let's read this page together, paying close attention to where the AY vowel team says A. Ready? Begin. Jay and his dog Bay went to play in the park one day. At the park, Jay stayed on the swing, but Bay made a getaway. Bay ran to catch a jaybird. Sorry, I read that sentence wrong. Can we read that again? I missed that word somehow. Ready? Let's start here again. Bay ran away to catch a jaybird. Thank you for helping me to fix that. Let's read this next page together. Ready? Look carefully. Where do you see that AY vowel team that says A? There's several of them on this page. Okay, let's read together. Begin. Jay did not want Bay to be a stray. Jay began to pray that Bay may come back today. Look how sad he is. I hope his dog comes back. This is the last page we'll read together. Looking carefully. Oh, here's one of those tricky ones, the AY word, and then it's followed by that ED. Look to see the syllables. Dismayed. Dismayed. Okay. AY, 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 AY with that ED. Okay, I think we're ready. Ready? This word is dismayed. Begin. Dismayed, Jay kicked the red clay. In the clay, Jay saw steps from his dog Bay. Jay did not delay. He ran after Bay, hoping Bay had stayed at the park. Dismayed just means that you're sad or frustrated. Well, we have hope. Maybe Bay is still in the park. We found his footprints. I'm going to have you finish reading the story on your own. You may need to pause the video so you have enough time to read each page. When you're done with the page, you can hit play and I'll move on to the next page. Carefully watch for that AY vowel team that says A like hey. You can begin reading now.